Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and welcome back to Black American Lineage. Thank you for your support. Thank you for supporting me in 2024, and I solicit your support in 2025 to build this channel and keep going forward with our history, with our culture, and with our legacies. And today I want to talk about a great legacy. And I entitled this video, The Man Who Overcame Jim Crow. But what I want to make clear is that there were many men that overcame Jim Crow and women. And when I say overcame Jim Crow was a system designed to hold black people back after slavery. Remember, after the Civil War, black people for 12 years from 1865 to 1877 had an era called Reconstruction. Black people were making so much progress. White people had fooled themselves into thinking that black people couldn't take care of themselves, that they couldn't function without white people telling them what to do. But black people were so industrious in that period of time. They were building communities, they were building colleges, they were building churches, they were educating their children, and the white people were bitter. They were bitter because the Civil War had destroyed the South, and they didn't have any workers, and they didn't have a clue about how to rebuild their lives. But the black people were on the move. And so they came back and re-enslaved black people in the Compromise of 1877. But during that time, and even after 1877, black people were building wealth. They were building wealth. And today I want to talk about one of those men that built great wealth in Florida. He is called Florida's first black millionaire, and his name is Dana Albert Dorsey. Here's a short film that introduces us to him.
Am I the only one who didn't know about Miami's first black millionaire? It's a story that deserves to be told. Let's dive into the fascinating and inspiring story of Dana Dorsey. Born in 1872 to former slaves, Dana Dorsey moved to Miami with just a fourth-grade education, but a heart full of ambition. But that didn't stop him from dreaming big. From humble beginnings, he bought one parcel of land at a time, building rental properties and creating substantial wealth. His real estate empire grew significantly, including owning Fisher Island, a jewel in Miami's crown. Dorsey didn't just build wealth, he built a thriving community. He established Miami's first black bank and black-owned hotel, transforming Overtown into the vibrant heart of Miami's black community. His legacy is a powerful testament to resilience, vision, and hard work. Dana Dorsey, Miami's first black millionaire, showed us that with determination and grit, even the tallest mountains can be scaled, no matter the odds. Keep dreaming big just like Dana Dorsey did, and let his story inspire you.
Dana Albert Dorsey, called D.A., was born February 29, 1872. He was a businessman, banker, and philanthropist who became one of the first African-American millionaires in Florida and the American South. He was born in Quitman, Georgia, the son of former slaves and the first child in his family who was not born into slavery. He received only a fourth-grade formal education, teaching himself after that. Two things stand out about Dana Dorsey. He was not born in slavery. He was born shortly after slavery. He only received a fourth-grade education, but he took that fourth-grade education and ran with it. He made something out of that fourth-grade education, teaching himself the things that he needed to know to do the things that he wanted to do. He came to the Miami area of South Florida around 1896. He worked as a carpenter for the Henry Flagler Florida East Coast Railroad. Henry Flagler is the man that is known for developing Florida. So for Dana Dorsey to be employed by Henry Flagler gave him a leg up. During that time, he recognized the need to provide housing for black workers. He purchased one parcel of land in Overtown at a time on which he designed and constructed one rental house per parcel, reinvesting the income to build more and rent more, eventually expanding as far north as Fort Lauderdale. Now that's saying a lot for 1896. In 1917, he and his wife Rebecca sold land to the city of Miami for a park for African Americans during an era of segregation. Yeah, we all know about that. Dorsey Park is located on Northwest 17th Street and First Avenue. Okay, so this man is industrious in 1917. Now remember, we're in the thick of Jim Crow. In 1919, Dorsey was forced to sell Fisher Island to the automotive pioneer Carl G. Fisher, who was developing Miami Beach. In 1926, Fisher traded 7 acres of the island to William Kessam Vanderbilt II in return for a 200-foot yacht, really. Vanderbilt's improvements led to what is today one of the wealthiest and most exclusive residential enclaves in the area. Dorsey was a trustee at Mount Zion Baptist Church in Overtown. The first black-owned hotel in Miami was his Dorsey Hotel, and he was the owner of the Negro Savings Bank. Dorsey was a firm believer in education, and he donated a large quantity of land for black schools. Okay, so this is called giving back. And I don't want to gloss over the fact that in 1919 he was forced to sell Fisher Island to automotive pioneer Paul G. Fisher. So as black people accumulated land, white people came back and took it away from them in one form or another, whether it was through intimidation, violence, or the law of eminent domain. Remember, there was a time when black people owned 19 million acres of land in the United States, and now I think it's down to 3 million. Now, some of that has to do with black people being reckless and land being passed down to the next generation, and they selling it off or giving it away or just using bad judgment in things. But a lot of it was taken, stolen, or tricked out of black families. When Dorsey died in 1940, flags were lowered to have staff all over Miami. He was buried in Lincoln Memorial Park, Miami's African American cemetery, during segregation. He donated to Dade County Public Schools the property at Northwest 71st Street and 17th Avenue, on which Dorsey High School, today known as the D.A. Dorsey Educational Center, was later built. The D.A. Dorsey Educational Center has a rich and positive tradition in the Liberty City area of Miami as a fully operational adult education center. Daniel Dorsey has left behind a rich and powerful legacy. He created a community that included housing, a bank, a park, an educational facility, and a church. I'm sure he was involved in building that church that he belonged to. That is what you call a real community person, a builder of a civilization. This is the library that was built by Daniel Dorsey in 1941. And in 2015, this is what it looked like. It's in Liberty City, Florida. Now, whose responsibility is it to keep up this library, to keep up this landmark building? Probably this building is eligible to be on the National Register now, which means that the United States government would allocate money to keep it up. But whose responsibility would it be? It's the responsibility of black American descendants of slavery to keep these buildings up. Now, fortunately, improvements have been made on this building, and hopefully they will keep making improvements on this building and make it into an attractive tourist destination in Liberty City. Also, and this is very important, Daniel Dorsey built a house for his wife Rebecca in Overton that still stands tall today as a historical landmark. He also donated land to create the first park for African American people in Miami. Today, the area is known as Dorsey Park. Additionally, D.A. Dorsey Technical College now sits in honor of the businessman. The campus was once home to Miami's first black high school, which Dorsey donated to regularly. So this is a man who served his generation well. His life on earth was time well spent. His legacy lives on, and I am proud to list him among our ancestors. Thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Give me a thumbs up and have a good day.